One of the most debilitating symptoms of hypothyroidism, of Hashimoto's, is bone-crushing fatigue. So many people describe this horrible, drained, exhausted feeling that really prevents them from enjoying life. People have had to go on disability. It affects their relationships. They can't really be present for their family, for their kids, because of this. So where does it come from and what can we do about it? Well, first of all, you may have heard your thyroid is involved in your metabolism. What does that mean? Well, metabolism is all the processes in your body of breaking down and building up tissues and foods and so on. And so your thyroid is very intimately involved in what your body does with the fuel that you take in and the fuel that's on your body. Your liver is involved with carbohydrate and lipid synthesis and metabolism. So carbohydrates are the sugars we take in, the pastas, the breads, the grains, and so on, everything that turns into glucose. And lipids are the fats, not only the fats we eat, but the fats on our own body. Our liver is in charge of really deciding whether we're going to store energy or whether we're going to burn it, or if we're going to burn the energy on our own bodies. And how does that determine? Well, our thyroid hormone has to tell our liver what to do. The thyroid is kind of the overall regulator of whether or not the liver burns fat, stores fat, etc. So on that level of literally the energy that fuels the body, on kind of the bigger level, it's the thyroid that tells the liver what to do. But on the microscopic, on the cellular level, your thyroid's also very intimately involved. Every single cell in your body has receptors for thyroid hormone, which means it can actually be influenced by thyroid hormone. And inside every cell, there's something called a mitochondria, or many of them. There's mitochondria, many of them. And those are the little energy factories of every single cell. Each cell makes its own energy, and I mean like the actual fuel so that liver cell can do its job, and your hair cell can do its job, and your lungs and your heart and so on can do their jobs. Every cell, it makes its own energy. It's kind of like a power plant inside that cell. But your thyroid hormone is what tells that cell's mitochondria to make energy. It tells it how much energy to make. If you don't have enough thyroid hormone, that cell is literally not going to make energy to do its job. So it's like there was a factory and you've got all the materials. The workers are here. You've got all the materials. You have a furnace. You could burn fuel in that furnace, but nobody's saying, okay, here's how much fuel you're going to burn in order to do your work. That's what the thyroid hormone does. So without that, you are literally going to be tired or not have enough energy on the level of every cell. So what do we do about it? Well, it's critical that we get enough thyroid hormone. There is no substitute for thyroid hormone telling the body to do this. So you can get it synthetically through medication, but usually that's not enough because our body needs to utilize that hormone. So I definitely get hormone through medication. Not everybody's going to need that. We also need to reduce the inflammation in our body because a lot of energy gets siphoned off into fighting an infection, and that's what your body thinks it's doing when you have autoimmunity. So by making sure we have adequate medication, changing our diet to reduce inflammation, that's how we'll get more energy.